Hello there, this is Philip Howells, and welcome to the 9.5 episode. Okay, I'm gonna be really serious here. This is something completely different. It's a bit ironic. I'm not actually going to watch anything and just give my reaction on it. I really want to be really serious on a certain matter that is on my mind recently. Why is that? Well, let's discuss a little thing about the Nostalgia Critic. You know, legendary internet celebrity who reviews nostalgic movies from the past. That guy with the glasses. Doug Walker. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at. Now, to be honest here, I love the Nostalgia Critic. The old Nostalgia Critic. The first review I ever saw and knew the Nostalgia Critic that well was the Tom and Jerry movie review. The review which made me laugh uncontrollably from days on end. And for me, I thought he was a god of internet comedy, each joke perfected after another, which made this review one of my first favourite reviews so far. For me, I thought he's gonna last forever to keep me entertained, high-spirited, and laughing in a good sense. But frankly, by around the end 2010 to 11, I feel the style of the Nostalgia Critic is starting to grow a bit stale. Now don't get me wrong, I still watch his reviews by time to time. It's just that it's not currently at that right factor for me to enjoy his recent reviews that much. For example, occasionally he'll make a decent review, let's say Baby's Kids, and then following after that was the Lost in Space review, to which I don't think is that very good of a review. Why, you might say? Because his style is slightly annoying. Sometimes he'll just scream and blurt out his jokes, and obnoxiously blurt out his wah 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 joke. Same thing in Quest for Camelot on the Biodome review. He does his jokes in such obnoxious manner that I don't really find it that funny. After those reviews, I do feel a slight step of improvement upwards, but still, his recent reviews don't hold up to the old reviews that well. I don't find anything wrong with someone trying new material out, but if I feel that it doesn't really work, it doesn't work. Another reason that some of his reviews aren't really that memorable. For instance, I wasn't really particularly interested in the Twin Short Circuit review because he tries to abridge his review in the shortest time. And there's the Theodore Rex review, and there's the Chairman of the Board review, which I haven't really watched yet because I wasn't really interested in it. Maybe it's your choice of movies that he chooses to review that slowly makes me lose my interest in him. It happens, okay? I gradually lost interest in Pokemon and Digimon because I was growing up and starting to experience watching new shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy, Foster's, Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons, Robot Chicken, Kids Next Door, and getting back to watch my favourite cartoon classics of all time, Tom and Jerry. And now I don't watch TV anymore because there's just nothing interesting on there. Well, except Russell Howard's Good News. Oh, sorry, this is off topic. Anyway, back to the Nostalgia Critic. Let's just cut straight to the point. I just watched his recent review of The Secret of NIMH 2, thinking, oh my god, this is going to be his best review I've ever seen. I couldn't imagine the hype that I was in, because I despise The Secret of NIMH 2, and I watched it by chance, and it is really that horrible. So hopefully, the Nostalgia Critic might be able to pull off a very good review. But sadly, in my opinion, I feel that you didn't do a good job of ripping The Secret of NIMH 2, a new one. In other words, you didn't do a good job of this review, and forgive me for saying this. This is one of my least favourite reviews of the series. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. You'll probably complain about my sense of humour right now, but at this point, I don't really care. This is just from my view, and if you want to complain about it, just go ahead and leave a fucking video response, alright? Now then, I've seen The Secret of NIMH 2, like I stated before, and now I've seen the review of The Secret of NIMH 2. And I will give you reasons why I don't like this review, by giving several key points from the movie that Doug has missed out in his review, or needs to elaborate on a little bit. Granted, there are some bits I liked in that review. Well, only two. The Eric Idle role of Martin and the Nostalgia Critic's reaction to said role, and the Timmy and the Brain segment. Those were the only bits I liked in that review. But everything else is just lacking, and I'm going to state these reasons why they are lacking. Okay. 1. The complete change in animation. Personally, I feel he needs to expand the whole point that the animation was much different than the original Secret of NIMH, but he only sums it up in like part of a sentence. And I quote, "Insert immediate downgraded animation." And that's it. I feel like he should compare the animation to the original Secret of NIMH, how it was all dark, gritty, and serious, and all of a sudden starts off with a sequel bright and colourful, with no meaning of the change at all. I can only imagine how it would turn out. But anyway. 2. The blatant rip-offs. Trust me. There are rip-offs in this film. Don't believe me? The race at the beginning of the film was a rip-off to the chariot race from Ben-Hur, another race in the Prince of Egypt. The Great Owl Reveal was a rip-off to the Jungle Book. One musical number rips off from An American Tail. The Inferno in the Laboratory rips off Backdraft. The Exploding Escape rips off Die Hard 2. And other various elements pretty much rip off of Disney. Something that the nostalgia critic really missed out on. Not once has he mentioned a single rip-off of this film without support or footage where the source of it actually came from. That would be a great idea, but why the hell does he have it miss it out? 3. Mentioning voice actors. Well, to be fair, Doug did mention only 3 voice actors in this review. William H. Macy, who played Justin and was also in the Magic Roundabout, the CGI one. Ralph Macchio as grown-up Timmy, the Karate Kid. And Eric Idle as Evil Martin, who was from Monty Python. But however, he didn't mention any other voice actors from other popular media as well. We got Dom DeLuise, who reprises Jeremy, which I think the critics should question why he's still playing Jeremy in this shithole. Debbie Mae West as Mrs. Frisbee, who plays Sanu Sasune from Naruto. Peter McNichol as the narrator. Harvey Korman, who plays Floyd from Star Wars. Hendon Welch, who plays Jenny from also Starfire from Teen Titans. There are a lot of tons of voice actors to mention and to make jokes out of. I do like how in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog review that he brings up Jaleel White and inserts a joke that is relevant to his voice work. Or how about a Troll in Central Park review where he mentions 2 British voice actors playing American parents. But in this review, he hardly does any jokes after stating voice actors. He really needs to go back to that. 4. The musical numbers. I'm a big musical professional entrepreneur, but the musical numbers in this film are terrible and unnecessary. And I know most people get the sudden pain that I have with musical numbers done poorly, especially in this movie. They're not memorable, they're painful to listen to, not to mention they're ripping off Disney with their musical styles. Apparently, I was surprised when the nostalgia critic didn't really harp on the fact that those musical numbers were terrible that much. That's one of his traits, wasn't it? He did it in the Tom and Jerry the Movie, Quest for Camelot, North, Garbage Pail Kids, and other film reviews that have musical number ideas. Why didn't he do it for this review? He would do something hilarious if he had an idea with this film. If he had the time. 5. The plot holes. Again, to be fair, the critic has mentioned a few plot holes in this film. Like the self-proclaimed prophecy of Timmy being the hero, which was never mentioned in the original. That Thorn Valley wasn't the Thorn Valley predicted in the original. Timmy having no knowledge of Nymph, mixed messages to Timmy's destiny, as well as other plot holes he has mentioned. And I really do like how he stressed about the most dumbest twist ever in a sequel. However, not much. I do feel he's missed on some plot holes that were vital to the film's plot. One plot hole is that Jenny reveals herself to be the daughter of 2 of the lost 6 mice instead of 9. And another one is that Nim giving shock treatment to animals instead of injecting the new serum to make him intelligent. Not a big issue, but I just want to mention it in case people who saw the review barely have the idea about this plot hole. 6. Characters changed in personality. Justin and Brutus were the biggest changes in personalities in that film. It didn't even disgust me how they would change in these characters, just to be suited for lousy kids who watch this piece of shit, instead of keeping the personalities from the original Nim. The critic didn't really mention the changes and taking the pity on those changes. That's what he did in this Captain N review, taking pity on Simon Belmont. That Simon Belmont was not the actual Belmont for the Castlevania games, and that the animation team fucked him up along with other character designs like Mega Man and all the other rest of the characters. Again, why didn't he do it for this review? 7. The 2 annoying minor characters, Muriel and Floyd. They were the 2 annoying characters in the movie. Nothing really much to say on the characters, and the critic has never really mentioned those characters. What if the people who haven't seen this movie don't know about these 2 side characters? I know it could be a filler for the review, but it's best to bring it up anyway for people who have seen the review, not seen the movie yet. Or else, make a joke out of it. 8. The romance subplot. You all know about the romance subplot between Timmy and Jenny. Barely contributes anything to the plot, it comes out of nowhere, underdeveloped too quickly, and it doesn't really make any sense how it takes a short amount of time for them to get to first base. Wait, that was a Legend of the Other Thing did. Fact. I do understand that the critics stated that it's a cliff note in the movie, but it would be nice to compare this romance subplot to other films that have romance subplots that were handled at a much better pace. Or state that she's a love interest and be done with it. 9. The animation flaws. Now, this will be a great idea for the critic to point out animation flaws, just like he did in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show review, because this film is very inconsistent with the animation. Just to get him started, I'll give you some ideas how you could joke around with these flaws, okay? Let's begin. Bad lip syncing between Mr. Ages and Timmy. The sound effects are 2 balloons popping, but the animation shows 3 balloons after that. The NIMH laboratory being built in the middle of connected buildings like a square. Jimmy untied in the next scene, but in the next scene is tied. Timmy throwing the key to Jenny and then ending up back in his hand. Got any ideas now? I can nitpick all day on the animation, but I'm not even going to waste time because I'm discussing something very important here. 10. The jokes a critic should have come up with. I know the Nostalgia Critic has done a lot of jokes in the past, but he hardly does any jokes in this review. In my opinion, these are the jokes I feel he should have come up with this review. For example, he should have made a running joke concerning how many times the film was attempted to kill Timmy off, but doesn't. You can mock on Dan DeLuise's acting like he did in the Troll of Central Park or somewhat. Along with the musical numbers, that'll be great. The joke of a Caterpillar credit card, which could be done in the same way as a Bat credit card would. The OEO sound effects, along with the marching rats of NIMH, comparing Eric Idle as a villain to the Warriors of Virgin, and, for kids joke when the laboratory blows up. He can reuse those jokes if he wants to and make it much better, instead of making new jokes, if he knows if the new jokes can hold up. Then that'll be great for me. Well, those are my reasons. It's okay to disagree with them if you want, but hey, you can't change what I just said. If I said it, it stays said. Now, for the big thing I'm going to say that will probably tick you all off. I think that in terms of reviewing The Secret of NIMH 2, the PS2 God and a Hardcore Kid did a much better job in reviewing the film. I'm terribly sorry. Again, that's just the way I am. Even though the Hardcore Kid is obviously inspired by the Nostalgia Critic, so was the PS2 God, but it's even more subtle, you know what I mean? Why? While the PS2 God did actually do a commentary on it, even though it's not on YouTube anymore, and the Hardcore Kid did a 2-part review, they provide much more better knowledge and much more reasonable jokes that I do actually understand and found funny, especially concerning the Hardcore Kid. I like the PS2 God's version as well, but the Hardcore Kid is much better in my opinion, just because he explains material from the movie much better and gives Yawnies a bit of a thinking edge, including me personally. That's just what I don't get from the Nostalgia Critic's point of view. Thinking edge. I pretty much said my bit here. Now, be aware of this. I'm not doing this for attention, I'm not even doing this for fame, money or anything. I'm not even doing this to get subscribers. I'm just doing this just because I want to get my opinions right across YouTube, because I really wanted to say this for a long while, and that if I did, I expected to get a lot of backlash from the critics' fanbase. That is what I'm going to get out of it, just for expressing my own words on YouTube. But I might as well get over it. I'm sorry, Doug. I liked your old videos, but now you're kind of sliding down. You need to take some time off. Forget about your job for like 2 weeks. And when you come back, you'll feel refreshed. You don't need to keep pushing yourself once a week just to get a stinking review done. It's your decision whether you want to work on one of your reviews in your free time. It's not up to the fans. Look at me, an unknown guy giving a celebrity advice. But hey, it's your choice not to accept my criticisms. I'm just saying what can be right for you. Guys, if he does actually make a better review, please let me know about it, and hopefully I might forgive him. Well, thanks for listening, and as always, I'll catch you all later next time.